When my mom and I tried to leave, the teacher squared up with my mom and tried to fight her. Who is this? Is your teacher El Chapo? Hello, you beauties. Who's ready for some trauma? You know, I think the saddest part of that is that some people are sitting at home going, me, me, me. That's crazy. Like, I know that I say this a lot, but I don't understand why you guys love horrific stories from the classroom so much. But it's like, who am I to not provide it for you? If you don't get it from me, you'll just go out on the street and buy it, and then it won't be safe. Wait, no, that's drugs. But I don't sell drugs. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Classroom Horror Stories. I'm your host, Tyler Jakowski. Every time that I do one of these videos, I think that the light in my eyes kind of dims a little bit. And it almost feels like you guys are coming back to see how much I've withered away at this point. And I respect your diligence. I respect your stamina for doing that. We're back with another set of absolutely horrific, traumatizing stories from all around the world. Every time that I do these, I'm like, hey, let me know where you guys are from. I can't believe that people around the globe are watching this series, but I love it. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your cousins about this. Why would I have you tell your mom about this? That's a weird thing to ask you to do. Tell her anyway. Tell her I say hi. Another thing that I wanted to let you guys know, because I love you all so much, I got you guys a discount code on SeatGeek. So if you go to concerts or sporting events or comedy shows, whatever, when you buy something at SeatGeek, if you use the promo code Fishin' for Clout, just like my TikTok, you'll get $20 off. So that's dope. You should definitely do that. All right, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, this first story is from Avery. Hi, I'm pretty sure this is the right email address. If not, oops, you got it. You hit the nail on the head, the correct email address. If it is, continue reading. I will. Hey, Mr. J, my name is Mikey. In third grade, there was this assistant teacher in the classroom. Everyone loved her. Let's call her Miss Joy. Got it. One day we were sitting in class when all of a sudden I heard a thud in the back of the classroom. Okay. I heard everybody scream and I turned around and saw that Miss Joy had fallen out of the chair she usually sat in at the back of the class and was laying face down on the floor. All right. Everyone started screaming. I would have been screaming. Even our teacher was freaking out. She told one of my friends to go get the principal, and my friend ran down the hall. Isn't it funny that in like an emergency situation, you're sending a third grader flying down the hall to go get your principal as opposed to like some other adult in another classroom? The kid just like becomes the superhero of the story. Another student was sent to go get the school nurse, and I was stuck in shock. The school went into a hold in place, which is when we all have to sit out classrooms and keep working. I think you spelled that wrong, but that's okay. We can't switch classes. We can't use the bathroom. This is just to get everyone out of the way so paramedics or whoever was needed could get through for privacy reasons. That makes sense. We obviously didn't stay in our classroom, so we all rushed out into the hall. Everyone was still screaming. Hey, at least they kept their cool. That's what's important here. Some kids say that there was a puddle of blood near Miss Joy's face. Jesus Christ. Some kids were crying. We got shuffled into the classroom next to us. Yeah, that's it. Let's take a non-traumatized class and just add in a traumatized class to just create this little pool of like half screaming, half not. That will work. The teacher put on Ratatouille and acted like that was going to help us. Ratatouille? Ratatouille doesn't strike me as a major concussion type of movie. Maybe like a divorce type of movie, like your parents tell you that they're getting a divorce and then they're like, hey, let's watch this mouse cook. No, I don't think that'd be good for divorce either. Nobody in my class was focused on the movie. I was trying to comfort my friend who was having a panic attack and was sobbing. Again, a third grader doing professional work instead of an adult. The kids who were actually in class, whose room we were in, didn't know what had happened and kept asking what was wrong, but our teacher told them that it was nothing and told them that we weren't allowed to tell them. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. You literally are told as a teacher not to talk about that. We all thought Miss Joy was dead. Okay, come on. We were eventually allowed back into the class, but we were traumatized. The floor was cleaned up and Miss Joy wasn't in the room. I would hope that she wouldn't be in the room. No one knew what truly happened. For months, we all thought she was dead. Eventually, our teacher told us that Miss Joy was fine and kept texting that she missed us. Okay. Our teacher just never told us for some reason. Miss Joy sent a video talking to us. She never came back to our classroom. As far as I know, she never came back to school at all. Honestly, I don't blame you. If I face planted and was bleeding so profusely that we had to go on a lockdown, I'm probably going to find a desk job. You know, I love your videos. Keep up the good work. Sorry if this wasn't horror story enough. It was traumatizing for me though. What are we talking about? This was perfect. Keep being the best, Lorax. Okay, Mikey, whatever. Thank you for writing in, Mikey. I appreciate you. Next. Okay, this one is from Jasmine, who lives in Arizona. Welcome to the chat, Jasmine from Arizona. I've never been to Arizona. I'd love to go see it. I feel like it'd be nice. Hello, Mr. J. I love your series. Please read my story. You're going to love this. I'm going to read it. During my first year of high school, I had an English teacher named Mr. Rob. Mr. Rob seemed like an absolutely perfect teacher at first. During the entire year, he was very kind and he was actually really good at teaching. Okay. Lit. This was until we got to the end of the school year. Basically, we found out that Mr. Rob had a side gig going on in the school. Whenever Mr. Rob saw a student who was doing a bad job in class, he would offer to change their grade if they paid him. What? We got an entrepreneur in the classroom. From what I understand, for $100, Mr. Rob would change your grade 1 grade point up. That means for $500, a student could go from an F to an A plus after doing 0 work. Where was Mr. Rob when I was in school? Oh my God. Super unethical, but oh my God. Mr. Rob got caught because the IRS audited him after he apparently made over $150,000 of untaxed income over 3 years. $150,000 in changing grades? Holy crap. Please put this in episode 22. I can't wait to hear you read it. Oh my God. That's crazy. I mean, supply and demand. He's got an unlimited supply. There's a huge demand. This, unfortunately, is an incredible business model, but that's so wrong. Mr. Rob, oh my God. Yeah, you are in jail. That's crazy. Okay, Jasmine, thank you for writing in. Next. Okay, this one says the principal thief. That can't be good. There's no way that's good. Okay, this one has a warning before you film. Okay, so it basically says some stuff about where the school is located. Can you just mention that the school's in the Middle East? Got it. This story is from the Middle East. Hi, my name is Lena. I just finished my first year in uni. I like that you guys call it uni. Uni. Yeah, I like that. I've always seen your short videos and started to read your school horror stories, and I love this series so much. Thank you. I do too, kind of. I have a love-hate relationship with it. It makes me sad, but happy. That feels like a toxic relationship. Oh, whatever. So I have been in my school since 7th grade all the way until senior year, and this principal, let's call her Miss V, started working as the school's president around 2017. She never was in office, but she would only come into the country for events like National Day or something. The rest of the year was spent in Texas. She's Spanish American. Okay. Last year, my senior year, a week before graduation, there was a shocking rumor from a teacher that we may not have a graduation and that there was an issue with the money in the school. Okay. After a long investigation and texting teachers around, we found out that Miss V took her end of service money without permission, and for 3 months hadn't paid teachers' salaries. Nice. How do we really find the bottom of the barrel to run these schools? Jesus. There was nowhere to find her and she didn't respond to calls. You're telling me Miss V went on the run? You're telling me this principal went on the run? Jesus. At the end of that week, the teachers made a collective complaint to the Ministry of Education. The ministry decided to take care of the school, change the entire admin for next year, and managed to get our graduation back. Great. Everyone was happy, but it turns out Miss V did really awful things during her time as president. She would mock teachers and make weird rules. She would also make the recruiters bring in rich students for the money, but these students brought the school's reputation down for their poor academic performance. You would be stunned how often that happens. Principals will specifically target whatever families have the most money because they know that parents will donate, parents will come to events, parents will set up these corporate events for the school. That happens in a lot of American schools that I've worked in. This wasn't the first time Miss V has done this, by the way. You can search this up about her. Previously, she was the president of City College of San Francisco for 3 years. She would spend lots of money on expensive restaurants and vacations while ruining the college's academic and reputation. Whoa. The biggest question mark is why she was assigned as our school president when such information about her previous job is free on the internet. Yeah, they didn't do a background check on this person. I got background checked. I had my TikTok get brought up during an interview for a teaching position. Why didn't this one get looked up? She's still nowhere to be found and has not been held accountable for her crime. What? The school is said to become a public school owned by the government next year. Yeah, I mean, you'd be shocked how much principals actually are in charge of a lot of the money that goes on in the school. It's actually kind of crazy. I feel like there should be more of like a treasury sort of department in a school so that the principal can't go like AWOL like Miss V. But Lena, thank you for writing in. I appreciate you. All right, let's read another one. Here we go. All right, this next story is from Ryder. Hi, Mr. J. My name is Ryder. I'm a sixth grader going into seventh. That is a fun time for you, not fun for the teachers in your life. Sixth grade to seventh grade is a wild time for hormones. Fun. This story isn't that crazy, but personally, I think it kind of is. It's always people saying this isn't a crazy story, and then it's like, the school caught on fire, and we all roasted inside of it. And then they're like, oh, this isn't that bad. On a random Thursday, my teacher had to do kind of a walkthrough, and we had to get a sub. I'll call her Miss S. Got it. Miss S seemed nice, but when someone knocked over a water bottle and someone looked over, she got mad. She stormed over to get a sticky note and told the kid who looked over to write his full name on the sticky note, and he would be lucky for her to not tell our teacher. Some kid knocked over a water bottle, and the kid that looked got in trouble? Yeah, no, the math is not mathing on this one. She wrote his name and took it and put it on her desk. For the rest of the time, there was just some tension in the room. Yeah. But we still had recess, so when the bell rang, everyone stood up and got to the door as quickly as possible. After we left the classroom, me and two other kids from the incident went to a lunch supervisor and told her what happened. She was obviously shocked and then said that she'll get the principal. After recess, we went back inside. She asked, how was Miss S? And we went crazy telling her what happened, so she told us to work on our group projects while she figures out what to do. But then two groups told her that the sub kicked one of their buildings that was made out of paper cubes that we folded ourselves by hand, with someone saying they saw her do it. So obviously the teacher got upset and went to fight for us. Okay, well, at least you have a good teacher to back you up against the substitute. Then during lunch, we had to line up and we saw her getting escorted. Hopefully she never works with kids again. I mean, substitute teaching in a lot of ways is even more difficult than everyday teaching because you don't have that relationship with the students. So you have to go in either balls to the wall or like super calm, and either can backfire. This person tried to go balls to the wall and tried to be all disciplinarian. That very rarely works because the kids don't know you. They're like, who even is this woman? Okay. Ryder, thank you for writing in. All right. This next one is from someone who asked me to call them M. I'm glad I caught that. Hi, Mr. J. First of all, I love your YouTube channel. I've been watching your long form videos for a while now, and they make me laugh so much. I am so happy that they make you laugh. They make me cry sometimes. Okay. This story is probably not as brutal as the others. Please call me M for privacy. Gotcha. I will not say what school I go to for privacy reasons as well. Great choice. This teacher, let's call her Miss B, teaches 7th grade science. She's known for being super annoying because she's at everyone's throats for no reason. She's gotten at my friend group, including me, multiple times, but this is the most annoying and actually hurtful time. I was the victim. In my school, we have an advisory period before our classes. I was heading there with my friends to drop off my bag early so we can walk around campus and chat during our free time. My advisory is connected to the teacher's lounge. Oh. So I have to enter there first to get to the actual room. In the teacher's lounge, I saw a bowl of candy, so I grabbed one. Probably shouldn't have, but whatever. Don't leave it out if you know that kids are going to be going through. Adults are stupid. Out of nowhere, Miss B started banging on the door to the teacher's lounge where me and my friends were standing. I opened the door, startled, and there she was, already lecturing us about how we are forbidden to go into the room without a teacher and stuff. My advisor is the dean, and she said we could enter. Let the dean deal with this. Literally, 9 times out of 10, the problem that kids get themselves in is that they get allowed to do something by an adult, then they do it, and then another adult loses their godforsaken mind, and the kids try to just deal with it themselves. I would immediately hand the situation over to the dean. Hindsight 2020. I didn't take it too seriously because I thought she was coming to yell at us for taking candy, so I put it back in the bowl. Turns out she didn't know, and now she has a whole other thing to yell about. By then, I was near tears because I am a people pleaser and I'm very non-confrontational. That's a tough place to be in as a student. At the end of her ridiculous lecture, she asked me for my name so she could report me to the dean. Remember, the dean is my advisor, for goodness sake, and I'm her favorite, and I don't know why I was so upset. I mean, it's a lot to have an adult screaming at you, right? Like, you're in 7th grade. Or I'm assuming you're in 7th grade because Miss B is a 7th grade teacher, but like, I don't know. I've had teachers get in my face and it's incredibly overwhelming. It's an adult. Like, why wouldn't you get overwhelmed? For taking a piece of candy, like, really? After she left, I started crying because I was so scared. And my friends, they're like the best. They were letting me rant all about it and hugged me and reassured me that it was going to be fine and she's overreacting. Hey, you got good friends. That's a huge plus. Most people don't have good friends. They were right, and now I think that Miss B is annoying at most. I'm not letting someone like her take advantage of my feelings like that ever again. Thanks for listening to my rant. It's probably not much, but I hope I get into the next episode. You're going to love this. With all the laughs, M. I mean, these stories, even if they're not like, my teacher crashed their car into the building, like, it's okay that it's not the most insane story in the world. This opens up a whole different conversation about, like, how to handle situations like this. Let the adults talk it out, because if there's an adult that tells you you can do something, then that's their responsibility to figure out if another adult gets mad. Thank you for writing in. Okay, last but not least. All right, this is a story from Angela, who works in New Jersey, or I guess lives in New Jersey. When I was in third grade, I had a teacher who used to very proudly explain to the class that she served 15 years in prison. What? 15 years? That's not like a misdemeanor. That's like a problem. We would ask her why she went to prison, and she would always say, quote, because apparently burning things is illegal, and that her lawyer, quote, beat that easy. Beat that easy? Burning things is illegal? Who is this? Is your teacher El Chapo? What is going on here? Halfway through the year, we had parent-teacher conferences, and my mom came in to talk to her. At the end of the meeting, my mom asked her why she kept talking to the kids about her time in prison. Fair. Completely fair. My teacher got very upset and told my mom that she would, quote, rep her prison block until she's 6 feet under. What? She would rep her prison block until she's 6 feet under? Can you listen? Can you imagine hearing that in any context? On the street, if I heard that sentence, even then, from any stranger, I would be absolutely baffled. I would rep my prison block until I'm 6 feet under. Hey, at least she's loyal. When my mom and I tried to leave the meeting, the teacher squared up with my mom and tried to fight her. A janitor who was walking by tried to help hold back my teacher, but she punched him in the forehead and he got knocked out. What? Why is the janitor catching strays? Oh, this poor guy. We got Goodwill Hunting taking a nap mid-shift. What in the world? As you can imagine, I switched schools. Last I checked, she still works at the school. Let me tell you a little story about me. One year, during the weekend while I was teaching, I went out to a bar with a couple friends of mine. On my personal Instagram, I posted a picture of me and 4 of my friends smiling at a bar. We had drinks in our hands. We were not doing anything crazy. It was a picture. I was brought into my principal's office and reprimanded for posting inappropriate things on social media as a teacher, and that it brought a bad name to our school. This teacher served 15 years for arson. She would tell her students about her time spent in prison. Then, when she was asked about it by a parent who pays to send their kid to the school, she tried to fight that parent. Okay? During said altercation, the janitor was punched in the forehead and knocked unconscious. And then she kept her job. Do you see the problem there? Okay, where this is a mental story. The fact that this actually happened, wait, I hope this makes it onto episode 22. Of course this is making it onto episode 22. How could it not? This is insane. Thank you for writing in. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys didn't disappoint this week. If you have a horror story that you want to send to me for episode 23 and more, send it to fishinforclout@gmail.com. I'll put that up on the screen. Again, if you're going to buy anything on SeatGeek, use the code fishinforclout and it'll get you $20 off. I don't know why you wouldn't. If you buy something that's $30, now it's $10. And usually like the fees and taxes are about $20. So you can get your ticket and not worry about paying for taxes and fees and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, no, you guys could be anywhere, but you're here, and I appreciate you for that. That's pretty friggin' cool. I love you all. I will see you in episode 23. Deuces.